It had been 3 weeks since that night, the night that rewrote everything between us. The rain hadn't stopped since then, as if the sky itself refused to let the memory dry. I sat in my car across the street from our house, fingers gripping the steering wheel, trying to breathe. Through the fogged glass, I could see Daniel's silhouette by the living room window, tall, still, distant. He hadn't said much lately, neither had I. Inside, our home looked the same, but it felt empty. The laughter that once echoed in the kitchen was gone. Even the ticking of the wall clock sounded heavier. Every moment was a reminder of what I hadn't told him. I thought secrets made life easier. I thought if I just stayed quiet, time would cover everything. But silence, I learned, is its own kind of punishment. A slow suffocation that never ends. That night, I told myself I'd wait for the right moment. But the truth doesn't wait. It grows heavier, sharper, crueler. Daniel was sitting on the couch, staring at a half-finished blueprint. His work had always been his escape. He didn't look up when I entered. I stood there for a long time, my throat dry, my chest burning with words that refused to come out. "Daniel," I said finally. He didn't move, but I knew he was listening. "There's something I need to tell you." He looked up, calm, patient, but his eyes said otherwise. They looked like glass, fragile, reflective, unreadable. I sat across from him, knees trembling, my palms cold. "I haven't been honest with you," I whispered, "about that night. When I said I was with Mia." He didn't react. Not a blink, not a sigh, just silence. I tried to continue, my voice cracking. "I was lost. I felt invisible. You were always working, and I made a mistake. A horrible one." Tears burned at the corners of my eyes. "I never meant to hurt you. I just—" Daniel raised a hand slightly. Not to stop me, but as if asking me to choose my next words carefully. I looked at him and broke. "I wasn't with Mia that night," I said. "I was with someone else." The air in the room changed. It was like the world itself went quiet to listen. I could hear my own heartbeat. Fast, uneven. Daniel didn't move. His hands rested on his knees, his expression carved from stone. I waited for him to speak, to shout, to ask why. But he didn't. He just sat there. That silence was louder than any scream. "I know," he said finally. Just 2 words, but they hit harder than anything I could imagine. I froze. "What do you mean?" I whispered. He leaned back slightly, exhaled through his nose, and said softly, "I was there, Emma. That night. I saw you." The world stopped. My breath vanished. Every sound disappeared except the beating of my own heart. Fast, panicked, guilty. He continued, voice trembling but steady. "I followed you. I didn't want to believe what I thought I saw. I told myself I was wrong, that maybe you needed space. But when I saw you, I knew. And I walked away before you saw me." Tears spilled down my face before I could stop them. "Why didn't you say anything?" I asked, choking on my own words. "Because," he said quietly, "I wanted to see if you'd tell me yourself." The silence that followed was unbearable. I wanted to scream, to take it all back, to make time bend. But some truths can't be undone. He stood up slowly and walked toward the window. His voice was barely a whisper. "I loved you so much, Emma. I still do. But love doesn't survive lies." He didn't shout. He didn't cry. He just looked out at the rain. And I realized that sometimes silence isn't calmness. It's heartbreak with nowhere to go. When he finally turned to face me, his eyes were red but dry. "I don't hate you," he said. "But I can't be the same person I was before that night." He walked past me, toward the hallway, leaving behind the scent of rain and distance. The door to our room closed softly. The quietest, most painful sound I'd ever heard. That night I didn't sleep. I sat on the couch, replaying every moment, every lie, every second I could have told the truth and didn't. The next morning, Daniel was gone. Just a folded note on the table. "I need time. Don't call. Please." It wasn't anger. It was heartbreak written in ink. Weeks passed. The silence stretched, but something inside me began to change. I stopped trying to justify what I'd done. I started therapy. I began writing in a journal every day, forcing myself to look at the person I'd become. Months later, I saw him again, at the cafe we used to visit every Sunday. He looked better, calmer. When our eyes met, he gave me a small nod. Not a smile, but not bitterness either. That tiny nod meant everything. It was closure. It was forgiveness in the quietest form it could take. I'll never forget what he said that last night together. Love doesn't survive lies. He was right, but honesty, even when it comes too late, can save what's left of your soul.